dining tent door at the massive expanse of Himalayan peaks surrounding our valley campsite. It's October 2000, I'm in Nepal, and I'm on day 22 of a 23-day mountain trek. To my left is the line of our two-man tents, and to the right there's the sound of our kitchen crew cooking up another infusibly delicious dinner on a simple gas camp stove. The joy of walking for 23 days with no responsibility, with nothing but beautiful sights, sounds and people to nurture your senses and help you reflect, has been indescribable, it's been magic. And I know at that moment I'm more content, I'm more full of bliss, and I'm more alive than I've ever been as an adult. But I have a job to go back to. I work for BOC, marketing welding products. I have to go home, but all I want to do at that moment is repeat the trek. I look down, and at my feet is a hairy Belgian. I'm massaging his calves, which is the kind of thing that happens after you've been walking with people for a few weeks. Our British guide, James, pokes his head through the dining tent door. Sarah, you've got it sussed. Trek from camp to camp, give a massage in the evening. What kind of job would that be? I'll resign from BOC tomorrow, I say. Freeze. Dear Crikes, I meant that. I really, really meant that. The next day, I grilled James about everything I need to know to do his job. What experience do I need? What qualifications? What first aid? How do I get to do this magical mountain lifestyle full time? Most of all, I asked him, am I too quiet? I am an absolute committed introvert. It's a miracle I'm standing in front of you talking at all. And James's reply is what released my dream. He's just smiled and he said, do you know what? No, the quieter, the better. It's not about you. 1 year later, I'm in Wales, in the mountains, in the beautiful, rolling, green lushness of the Brecon Beacons. It's my first ever visit to the tiny hamlet of Capel y Ffyn. 12 farmhouses, 2 chapels, no pub, and a monastery, spread over 4 miles of beautiful valley with stream at the bottom, sheep, mountains above, just idyllic, sinuous beauty. And there's only one reason I'm there on this particular occasion. I want to become a mountain guide. I live in Guildford. Maximum altitude 165 metres. So, looking at the map, Brecon Beacons are the closest mountains to Guildford, and the Capel y Ffyn Youth Hostel is the closest mountain youth hostel. So, I'm heading there. And the Capel y Ffyn Youth Hostel is a beautiful 18th century stone-built farmhouse, whitewashed, and it's tucked up on the side of the valley, looking out across this wonderful vista with mountains all around. And the peace when you arrive there just wraps you in a hug and holds you for the length of your stay. You've been, or you know. That evening, as my friend and I sat down to a hearty hostel dinner, the warden came across and just asked, what brings you here? So I explained about wanting to become a mountain guide, blah, blah, blah. Need the experience so that I can do the training course. You have to get experience before you can even do the training. Fantastic, she says. Can you come and lead some walks for us? No, wind back. I haven't done the training course yet. I am not qualified. Got it? So, a few months later, 16 walkers and I head out from the Capel y Ffyn Youth Hostel on my first ever commercial guiding gig. I take the group up the back, behind the hostel, onto the hill path, which sweeps around the nose of the hill, so you get these panoramic views, you start to see the next valley over. Utter peace, senses filled with the sound of birdsong, a lake nature and nothing else. I pause the group after half a mile or so above the neighbouring farm, and we admire their garden, look down at their lovely farm, and down the length of the valley as it wiggles its way back towards civilization. We have a great time, and so begins my relationship with the Capel Ffyn Youth Hostel. And I'm back and forth, Guildford, Capel Ffyn, Guildford, Capel Ffyn, Guildford, Capel Ffyn, whilst keeping my main job. Then after a few years, I've got my guiding qualifications, I've even changed jobs now. But Paula, the warden, breaks the news to me, sadly, that the hostel is not covering its costs. It's going to be sold. And she even says to me, back then, when was that, 10 years ago, Sarah, you should buy it. And I don't give it a second thought. Not the slightest. I just laugh and the idea's gone. And I realise after that there is some growing that I need to do. I've got this magical mountain dream of work that I want to do and that I want to share. I'm not there yet. Whatever that is, it isn't there yet. And so a few years later, you'll find me sat on a bench in a park this time, still outdoors, not in the mountains, but that was okay, I can manage it. And I'm sat with a very dear friend and coach. And he's been working with me, helping me shape up what this work might look like that can actually sustain me and give the service which I'm so hungry to be doing. And I've been stuck for a while. I can describe the mountain retreats, the nurture, the peace, that feel I have out in the Himalayas, and the safety when you can just be yourself and let all your barriers drop and know you're safe. But I can't see the practical way. It seems too big, too expensive. I've got to buy a house, I've got to, too much. And on that bench, we get past that hurdle. He says, what's the step you can take? Right, I can find a self-catering hire somewhere around in the mountains. I can invite some friends, people I know who I trust, and we'll just give it a go. And we'll see whether this idea is some mad thing I've created in my head, or whether other people might actually like it as well. Thanks, Bev. The very next week, Paula, the old Capel Ffyn Youth Hostel warden, who's off in another hostel now, emails me with a link. She says, look, the people who own the old youth hostel at Capel Ffyn, they've renovated it. They've put it back on the market as a self-catering holiday let. Oh, that was me sorted. And just a few weeks later, my friends, coach and I arrived back at the old Capel Ffyn Youth Hostel. So comforting to see that lovely white stone. Shit, 2 minutes. Oh, sorry. That white stone farmhouse up on the side of the valley. And my confidence soars as I guide them around, I show them, I reconnect with the joy of being back in this place, which has meant so much for me, which was the roots of my dream. I fall in love with it all over again. And for years we're hosting these mountain retreats. I'm commuting back and forth from Guildford again. And I fall so hook, line and sinker on it. I'm dreaming of owning the old youth hostel. I'm dreaming of owning any one of those farmhouses in this stunning remote bit of valley. And none of them will flipping well come on the market. But there you go. I kind of almost gave up and just set up a right move alert, as you do, and did everything I could to keep that dream alive, to do as much of the work as I could possibly manage without actually living there. And then I suddenly get an email from a friend who lives in the valley saying, Jackie and Simon's farm's coming on the market. Couldn't be closer. Thought you'd like to know. The farm that's coming on the market is in Capel Ffyn. Not only is it in Capel Ffyn, it's the farm next door that I've been taking people past on every single walk that we do from the hostel. Well, I'm round there pretty prompto for a visit, and it's beautiful. In fact, if anything, it's more beautiful, which I would never believe possible. More beautiful than that lovely Capel Ffyn Youth Hostel. It has woodland, it has beauty within its building, the care that it's been put together with, and it has a beautiful, beautiful garden. my chance encounter with the youth hostel at Capel Finn has drawn out of me a huge, huge dream and a sense of self and purpose, which I was very, very hungry for when I was out walking in the Himalayas. But the apprenticeship is now complete. And the farm next door, I move in next month.